yeah, so we got old world prices. We'll go through them.
Yeah, man, bust them out.
The way I think they've done this is that the starter sets are loss leaders. They're brilliant deals, and the other stuff's like okay, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
We'll go through it.
The Tomb King's one's more expensive than the Bretonnians, isn't it?
Yes, but you get more stuff, that's why. It's 96 models, and one of them is a great big dragon.
Hey,
Whereas the
awesome.
equivalent in the Bretonnians is just a dinner horse, a feathery Pegasus horse.
Fancy horse.
Yeah, starting off with the rulebook. The rulebook is £42.50. Now, all of this stuff that I'm going to read off is all going to be available from third parties at between, I don't know, 10 and 20% off, whatever the price I give you. The price I've given you is the recommended retail price.
Yeah, so GW prices, basically.
Yeah, GW price. So the rulebook, £42.50. If I remember correctly, that is more expensive than the Horus Heresy rulebook.
Yeah, I think that was £30 something. 35 maybe?
Yes, I think it was £35, yeah. So it's a 362-page book, I think. It does look quite nice. But yeah, obviously that one's £42.50. And then, like the Horus Heresy, almost like a Liber Traitoris and a Liber Loyalist book.
Yeah.
So you've got Ravening Hordes, which is of the evil factions. That's £30. I can't remember what the size of it was, but I think the evil one had a few more pages. Then it's the Forces of Fantasy, which are the good dudes, and that's also £30. And then you've got some movement trays, modular movement trays, which are £25. You'd be better off making your own, to be honest.
Modular, you say?
Modular, yes. They're like sheets of flat plastic with edges that you put on.
Okay.
And you can make them as big as you want or as small as you want. Because obviously they used to do just fixed sized ones. But all the base sizes have gone up, so it's all had to be redone. Then you've got the Warhammer The Old World dice set, complete with artillery dice. That's £26. Then you've got the Bretonnian box set, The Old World Kingdom of Bretonnia, which is 76 models, I think, of which I think a few are new, but most of it is the old stuff. And that's £155. Now, when you consider that comes with a £42.50 rulebook,
nice,
various little gubbins and bits, that's pretty good. That's pretty damn good. I'll put a picture of it in the video, obviously, and you'll be able to see that you're getting quite a lot of Bretonnians there for £100-something. Again, minus money from a discounter. And they're not, the GW have said that they're not limited, or at least the person in the Warhammer community said they're not limited. As to what they know, I don't actually know. That's a good deal. They're old models, I know, and they look a bit, they've given them a fresh coat of paint, they look all right, but they are still old models. Their faces still look old and all that kind of crap. But it's a 1,250 point army, and £100 for a 1,250 point army, I don't think you can really do anywhere else. So I happen to think that's a really good deal. The prices that you would expect to be more expensive come in with the separate stuff, if that makes sense. So, for example, the Kingdom of Bretonnia Battle Standard on Royal Pegasus, he's £40 on his own, which for one model is quite a chunk. But I would say that it's in line with what GW charges.
Characters, yeah.
And then the Kingdom of Bretonnia Pegasus Knights, which are an old returning unit, are £37.50, which I think is a little bit more expensive than they used to be. But Warhammer did get very expensive at one point, so I don't think it's too far out there, even at that price. The other one that's interesting is you've got something called the Arcane Journal, Kingdom of Bretonnia.
Honestly, mate, I thought you was going to say gerbil for a minute.
Arcane Gerbils.
Yeah.
Yeah, going around, scurrying around, chewing things and casting spells.
Sounds scathing.
The Arcane Journal is interesting because you'll notice that it's only £16. It's also only 50 pages. It's not a full army list. It's like 3 or 4 characters and then loads of fluff and a few different regiment rules and things.
Okay, like regiments of renown and infamy and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. The other interesting thing here is we've got the Old World Kingdom of Bretonnia dice, which are obviously, their little dice tower thing they do. That's £26. What's not on this list is the cards.
Interesting.
So maybe the cards are only through GW.
Yeah, I think going by the Epic cards, I think they are. Like most of the cards for new releases will only be through GW, unless they're for 40k armies or something like that.
I mean, expensive dice are expensive dice, yeah, whatever. Next up, it's the Tomb Kings, and the Tomb Kings box set is £175. So it's £20 more than the Bretonnian set, but you get 90 odd, it's 95 models or something, rather than 70. And as I say, one of them is a great big fucking dragon.
Yeah,
it's a lot of shit. And then obviously the great big aforementioned fuck off dragon. And again, I figured these were going to come in at around about Age of Darkness price, £180. So
yeah, well, it's pretty much spot on.
Yeah, and I think for a 1,250 point army, that's not bad.
No.
It's not bad at all. And as it goes on, it's going to get a little bit better as well. So we've got the Arcane Journal, Tomb Kings of Khemri, 16 quid, again 50 odd pages. The Tomb Guard are £47.50, 20,
Okay.
which is quite a chunk.
They look
But
nice
again,
though.
it's what I would say is in line with Horus Heresy.
Yeah.
You get 20 Space Marines, 47 quid. All right, these are a little bit smaller because they're old Warhammer models, and you're going to be able to put your fingers in between the sprues and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, it's just a re-release.
It's not too bad. That is just a re-release, yeah. As are the Sepulchral Stalkers, which you can build as like snake dudes.
They've aged well.
They have aged quite nicely. They're £37.50 for free, which again is about standard if you look at the price of free jet bike. But the one I'm really, really, really excited about,
Necrosphinx.
it's back. It's only 45 quid,
Nice.
which means it'll be like 38 quid from a third-party retailer.
Yeah. Actually, I might even prefer the War Sphinx.
You like the weird little doggy horse thing with a basket on his back. No, I love Necrosphinx. Fucking love it, love it, love it, love it.
Mm.
And before now, they would cost you hundreds and hundreds of pounds. So yeah, I can't wait to get a Necrosphinx and a few good 100 points each. I'm thinking, get like a box of Tomb Guard and a Necrosphinx and your army set, all from a third party retailer. Say about 250 quid, but you can have a 2,000 point army.
Yeah.
I can't
It's all
think of
good.
any other system that you can get a 2,000 point army for 200 quid. Maybe if you bought 2 Custodes combat patrols. Yeah, so far quite positive about the old world. One thing that you need to understand on here is that there is an awful lot on the list of releases that's coming out that is not on that list. So there is an awful lot of stuff that is only at GW stores or online. Some places you're not going to. So, for example, not even counting the stuff that's like Forge World Resin, but the re-releases of some of the older stuff, the other older stuff, it is going to be very expensive. You're not going to be able to get it cheap. It's going to cost you if you want that other stuff as well. But at the end of the day, you're either happy with that or you're not happy with that. You buy it, you don't buy it. There are alternatives out there because Tomb Kings haven't been around, so people have made 3D prints and stuff of. Yeah, I think it's all good. Pleasantly surprised by some of the prices for sure. I mean, obviously, the other thing I understand is a lot of these models are going to be a lot smaller than you used to. So that Necrosphinx, you're going to get it, and you're going to be like, oh, Necrosphinx. I guarantee that Necrosphinx is going to be smaller than you remember. Because all the models were back then.
Yeah.
It's a 28mm scale model, so I reckon it's going to be, a fair chunk smaller than you remember. But yeah, just looking at Tomb Kings, obviously the Tomb Guard are coming out, and you can get those a bit cheaper. I think they were metal and plastic hybrids. No, they weren't. No, it's all plastic. Okay, fair enough. Ushabti, Cetra the Imperishable, the old, but they're going to be a pricey unit for those metal models for sure. The Ushabti, which is a shame because I love those models.
They're great, aren't they? Yeah, they're really nice.
They're going to be. But obviously your resin models are going to be about 30 quid each, if not a bit more. I can't remember what Forge World runs their resin models out these days. So yeah, if you want those Ushabti, I think they're going to work out expensive.
Do look nice with a modern paint job.
They do, yeah. As I said, that's the other thing I said. Like a lot of this stuff has scrubbed up well. When you consider these models are at least 10 years old.
Yeah. Because Tomb Kings were one of the last lots to get an overhaul before they went in the bin, weren't they? Yeah.
The Bretonnians were probably more like 20 years old.
Yeah, they were old, even when the end time stuff was done.
I think I've got to have a Necrosphinx and a War Sphinx, one of each. But yeah, it's going to cost. We all knew it was going to cost. It's not aimed again at little kids. You've looked. I don't know if you've seen the rules, but they're not. This is not Age of Sigmar.
No, they've pretty much stuck with the old fantasy thing, haven't they? Which is good.
Yeah. It sort of looks like it's based mostly on Sixth, from what I can see.
Yeah. All the old fantasy Grognog equivalents of us are like, finally.
Yes, exactly. There's a lot of hype about it. A lot of people complaining about the prices and saying they're going to 3D print, and I hope not too many people do that because, again, like Heresy and like Legions Imperialis, it needs to be supported.
Yeah.
In order to be, sort of to get everything that people want. Because don't forget, this is only 2 armies out of loads. We haven't seen any other releases yet at all. I do remember some of the metal kits being quite expensive because I saw a list of all the prices of the stuff that's only through GW. I haven't got it, unfortunately. It was only in dollars, but I did some sort of like calculations in my head, and I think you were looking at paying quite a chunk. I think the Sharpty were about 30 quid for free, which,
mind you, in plastic they probably wouldn't be too different.
Isn't so bad when you can get it from a third party. You go, right, okay, that's 24 quid or 25 quid or whatever, but from GW, it's going to be more expensive. So I'm positive about the old world, and even if I never play it, which is extremely likely because I just don't get to play games these days, like I said to you, the thing I always liked about Warhammer Fantasy armies is they always look great as display pieces.
Yes.
Ranked up in those lovely ranks and everything. So looking at the Tomb King set, you get 2 lots of archers, 16 models each. There's 32 archers, 16 horses, 40 spearmen, and 3 chariots, and then the dragon dude. I mean, if to see that as a Christmas box set, put it this way, those Christmas box sets that come out, they were like what, 140 quid?
Yeah, pretty much.
And they had 4 or 5 units in them.
Yep.
Yeah, this is 8 whole units. So again, and we've seen obviously the proofs of the boxes and things. These are big boxes. I think that the starter sets are very reasonably priced.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that the other stuff less so, but still within line of GW and even the plastics and stuff that's come out. It's still, in line with the Horus Heresy. So I think obviously it could be cheaper because these are old kits and stuff, but I don't think it's particularly horrible. And as I say, I can't think of anywhere else where you could get yourself a 2,000 point army by spending 200 quid.